Hey everyone, today I'm gonna talk about the B patch that's gonna hit TFT later today. Obviously, there's no huge changes in today's patch, it's only a B patch. For the people that don't know what that means, basically it's not gonna be as lengthy and it's not gonna shake up the meta as much as a normal patch would do. But it's just gonna rein in the outliers. It's always on Riot Mort's Twitter. Riot Mort is the game design director. He's great. He absolutely loves the game. I love the guy. Seeing someone being so passionate about their game is just kind of refreshing, right? Kind of like how Mark Yetter does the tentative changes for League of Legends. Riot Mort does this for Teamfight Tactics. So here we go. This is the B patch that's gonna hit later today. And honestly, a lot of the changes there are just no-brainer. As you can see, let's just take a quick look before diving deep into that. There's going to be some changes to Legionnaire and Revenant. Is that surprising to anyone? I think Legionnaire was kind of slept on for like most of like the start of set 5. But if you go into my match history and we just zoom in a little bit for you guys, you can see here first place, second place with Mordekaiser carry. Like, as soon as I found out that Mordekaiser carry was actually like strong, I just spammed it 3 games in a row, and it's just so good. It's almost like impossible not to top 4 once you hit Mordekaiser 2 with good items. And you don't even need like the Warm Mug. I'm gonna actually give an in-depth video later today because I had like a crazy game this morning. As you can see, we've hit the Legionnaire spat on our Diana. We had a great game. We finished first, obviously, as you can see here. We hit 9. It was just a great game all around. We did not even need Mordekaiser 3. As you can see, the only time I've hit Morde 3 is like when we didn't even top 1. Positioning with Diana is actually like more important almost than just hitting like strong stuff. Nevertheless, Legionnaire needed a little nerf, and not only is the trait getting nerfed late game, the 2 and 4 Legionnaire is not getting hit, which is fine because usually that's not even when you have Mordekaiser. If you go Morde carry, you go at least 6 Legionnaires, sometimes 8 if you can actually like get the spat, which was the case in my game earlier. It's just crazy. 250%, it's like insane because like not only does Mordekaiser get the buff, but there's also like your Kale gets the buff, Diana gets the buff, and like attack speed on Diana is just useful for getting her ultimate off like as soon as possible. It's just like really good on almost like all of these champions. So I can understand like going down to 180%, like that I can get. Then we get Revenant. Revenant gets nerfed from 30% to 10% and then 75 to 40. I think that's quite a harsh nerf, honestly. A lot of the time, the Revenant guys, which is Nocturne, Ivern, and Volley Bear, when they spawn with 30% HP, like, it's good. It's definitely good. I simply feel like 10% might be like too little. We will see about how impactful this is to Ivern and Volley Bear, especially because they are getting nerfed also. I've never been a huge fan of like nerfing 2 things at the same time, because usually maybe just one of the 2 would have been enough. I'm not sure, you know. I always prefer like the slow approach. I know some people disagree. They just want like fast changes and make sure that the outliers, you know, get nerfed to the ground, but that's just not how I would do it. But you know, it's fine. We'll see. Like 75% to 40% is like insane. You rarely play 3 Revenant, and I think like this just, I don't know. Either it's gonna make it mandatory because you still want to play Ivern Volley Bear and you need like more HP than 10%, because what's gonna happen is they're gonna pop back up alive and they're just gonna die instantly. I don't know. I feel like that's pretty harsh, especially combined with the nerfs that I'm gonna talk just in a few seconds. Ziggs getting his attack speed nerfed is fine. I think going from 0.85 to 0.75 is good. Ziggs is definitely one of the better one cost. I think that's a well-deserved nerf. It's not too big. I like it. Going on with Kennen. He's very strong in Helion. I mean, Kennen just does so much work. Even in like standalone Kennen, you know, I'm not even talking about like the Helion reroll comp. Just Kennen at all is like hyper strong. So delaying the stun by just, you know, 1 attack is actually kind of impactful. Spell damage gets nerfed when you get to like 3-star Kennen. I think that's not that huge of a nerf. You will rarely get to 3-star cannons. I mean, I think I've just played against the Hellion reroll comp, and even at like the later stage, he did not hit it. It obviously, when you hit it, it's super strong. I think going for the 50 damage nerf, I don't know if it was necessary, especially with the mana nerf and the stun duration nerf, because I think what makes Cannon like super strong is the CC that he provides, and he can apply Morello to everyone. So I think he's still going to be relevant for sure, because usually you just keep him at 2 stars for like the majority of the games. So going for the mana, I think is fine. Leblanc, however you want to pronounce that, is gonna get nerfed also. I think that's fine, honestly. When she starts casting, it's like, it's just a chain. It just feels weird. It's so strong. I personally am not a fan of like the Leblanc comp, not because it's not strong. I just feel like it's weird. It's like one of the only champion that like the animation does not feel good. It's just like she stands there and then she like just vomits chains. I'm not a huge fan. I think that's fine, and she's super strong, so I think that's cool. Also getting some bug fixes there. I'm gonna go like I'm gonna move the window after, so you can see like the comments from Riot Mort on more specific things that are not here if you still have questions. Aphelios getting nerfed from 10 AD and 0.05 attack speed, I think is fine. I think he deserved it. Aphelios is probably like one of the best forecasts, if not the best forecast carry. So, I mean, well deserved, especially since like other stuff is getting nerfed. It would be weird to like nerf almost everything but Aphelios, since he's already strong. So I think I'm really all for that. Now, let's get into the crunchy meat. Ivern, Daisy's getting like a huge nerf. Spell radius 2 to 1. That means that whenever Daisy was like slamming the ground, it would hit like a circle around her that was like 2 X's in diameter. 2 hexes, I mean, not in diameter, but like the radius was 2 hexes. So you got a huge area, and usually it's combined with Volley Bear, so you get like tons of knockups on like most of the enemies. I think that's a fine nerf. What I don't like is like nerfing Ivern, nerfing Volley Bear, nerfing Revenant, all 3 at the same time. Probably they just wanted to break, you know, people always going Volley Bear, Ivern, Heimer in like almost every single game or almost every single comp. I think it's quite ridiculous that like this package of like 3 units can almost fit in everything. I don't think that's healthy for the game. To be like that strong that you can plug it and almost everything. So nerfing it was definitely deserved. Daisy is very strong. I think she's gonna become still relevant with that. I don't think you stop playing Ivern at all. I simply think it's not going to be like a no-brainer as it was, because like whenever you hit Ivern Volley Bear now, you basically just slam it because it's so good. So I think it was definitely nerfed. We'll see with those changes like how it's going to affect everything. Then the Mordekaiser definitely deserved that. He's still like super strong on 3 stars, which is fine. I think 3 stars forecast should be absolutely insane. It's very hard to get usually when you get them. It's because you're the only one playing that comp. You're level 9. You're like well advanced in the game. I think that's fine. Nerfing his early damage, especially like the 2 cost, I think is where it was like the most important. It's only 50 damage. Like, if you have Rabadons or you have Jewel Gauntlet or you already slam like a bunch of AP when you play Mordekaiser carry, that he's still gonna absolutely demolish people. We've had like a game, I think the one I uploaded yesterday, where he was doing like 5,000 damage on level 3, which was insane. But even on level 2, he was like critting for 1.2k or something. It's just insane. So just nerfing it a little bit is definitely deserved, especially like I said, everything else is getting nerfed. So it would be weird to like not nerf Mordekaiser and Legionnaire at the same time. Otherwise, he would absolutely stomp the ladder. It would be insane on almost every single game. And I have not seen a lot of Mordekaiser carry yet. I think it was really slept on. It was kind of under the rug, but it is personally my favorite. It's just so fun and it's just so strong. And finally, we have Volley Bear. Just some mana nerfs here. It's going to be harder for him to proc. Like, as you can see, instead of needing 70 mana, he's going to need 120. That's a huge nerf. Especially combined with the fact that he's not going to come back to 30%, he's going to come back to 10%. I think now it's going to be a lot more common to see him like actually just not even proc his ult, which I'm not a huge fan. Volley Bear is a 5 cost. I think it's fine. He was like super impactful. I think the real problem was combined with Ivern and Daisy. It was just so strong. I think that's a pretty big nerf. We'll see how it's gonna develop. It puts him more in line with the other 5 costs though. It's kind of weird to see like all of this but not nerfing Heimer also. I think like indirectly you nerf Heimer by nerfing Ivern and Volley Bear because he's played with them so often, but there's still going to be some cases where Heimer is just going to be absolutely insane. Like the damage he does, it's just crazy. So I think it's a good patch overall. Like it's a B patch, so there's not a lot of like crazy changes. Everything is gonna get nerfed like just a little bit, which I like. I would have hated to see like Aphelios not getting touched or Ziggs not getting touched while everything else gets touched. So shout out to the balance team. I think set 5 is just crazy. It rewards being flexible. I don't think you're like shoehorned into some comps like Chosen did sometimes. I really like the set. I think the balance team in TFT does usually a great job. This is a good patch. We're gonna see more changes I think next week. So this is very good. There's a bit more info that we can get. I'm just gonna move myself. Boom. Crazy stuff, so you can see on your screen just like 1 or 2 comments that I think is probably going to be important for you. So have you seen something about Karma strangely walk into the enemy team? Is that a bug? It happened to me more and more people a lot of times. I've seen a bunch of that too. It's related to Syndra, guys, so it's going to be fixed eventually. Not now. That's a B patch, you know. We're kind of lucky to actually have like 2 bug fixes there. Usually I think those smaller patches are used to touch on either like huge bug that are like very big problems, or just gonna tweak some numbers. So it's gonna get eventually. And also don't be like this guy, seriously. That's it. I mean, what were you expecting for a B patch is like the perfect answer. And the clarifying for Ivern here, so it's gonna affect like more than 1 unit, guys. 1 hex just means like the circle around it is just going to be 1 hex, right? So 6 hexes around him instead of 12, or actually is it more than 12? I think it's 12. So it's well deserved. It was way too insane. I like this patch. I'm gonna upload this crazy Mordekaiser game that I had earlier today. We're gonna abuse it as long as we can, which is basically like just a few hours now. I'm gonna go a bit more in depth than the video we did yesterday about that Mordekaiser 3 game. I'm gonna explain because like I'll have the whole game compared to there where I started recording just when I saw he was actually like popping off like crazy, and you'll be able to see like what was the thought process like for the whole game. I'm gonna comment on it, and you'll be able to see how you go from transitioning like your early game into the late game, how you get Yasuo to be your item holder, what do you do when you get a spat, etc, etc. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Tell me in the comments what you think about this B patch. I think it's fantastic, nothing negative to say, and I hope to see you next time.